Yesterday, the White House rolled out a new initiative that they claim will make it easier and safer and more affordable to give birth in America. Take a look.
The Department of Labor is issuing a new rule to formally create a fertility benefit option for employers that can be offered to all employees outside of their normal health insurance plans. It's a big deal. This is a new benefit or an option that will be a major help for millions of American moms that will result in more beautiful American babies. The first time I really heard about the fertility was through Katie. She said, "Sir, we have to do something." And I'm a quick study, so I learned everything there is to learn in about 3 or 4 minutes. And I became the father of fertility.
1 in 3 Americans are underbabied. What does underbabied mean? That means that you either don't have any children or you have less children than you would normally want to have. And to Katie's point, we have a crisis that's causing our fertility rate to drop below 1.5. Replacement rate is 2.1. So we're way below what we need just to replace the people that we have in America. And as the services get better, we make them more affordable, we'll have more Trump babies.
Oh, you heard that.
Yeah. Did he say
Our Trump babies.
What
Yeah,
Trump
well,
babies?
Well, listen, if you really want to help, if you really, really want to help, stop spending $29 billion on a war,
Yep.
$400 million on a ballroom, and $13 million painting the reflecting pool, and put that money towards child care and accessibility, because it's not enough to say have babies. You have to, those babies are with you every day. You got to take care of them. You got to feed them. You got to keep them occupied. You got to put them in child care. You got to put them in school. You got to take care of them. You got to do summers with them. You got to pay for stuff. This idea, you know, of they have 29, the median household income, they say in 2024, is $83,730. The cost of child care birth is $18,000 without insurance. Yeah. Now, in 18 years, when, you know, all of this comes out, this money, what is it going to be? And you need to give people money while the child is growing. You can't just hand them $18 million and $18,000 and say, go to school. You can't do that. Yeah. I mean, what do you think about this?
I actually agree with this, but I'm going to preface it to say the fact that he puts his name on everything is just so cringe. I set up one of these Trump accounts for my son when he was born. The government matches $1,000. And if you were to contribute $5,000 a year, which that's the higher end that you would do, that's like tax-free or tax-deferred, Charles Schwab says that at 18, when your child has access to it, it'd have about $100,000 or almost $200,000 in it. So this is very similar to like a 529 account or a Roth IRA. Yeah. And then on the fertility part of this, I've been super open with my fertility journey. Yes. It took me 5 rounds of IVF, 6 figures to get pregnant. I didn't have any coverage from employers from it because I'm a contractor. One of my medications alone on this Trump RX is about 10% of what I paid for it. I paid 10 times more than what it's now available for. This isn't new. Mark Cuban has something very similar where he has low-cost drugs. But these are tangible impacts that can help people. So my thing is, like, Trump gives us plenty to critique him on legitimately. This, to me, is not bad policy.
But how do you, if you don't pay for the child after the child is born,
so
what do you do?
That's actually a point I wanted to make, because I see all the points you're bringing up, Alyssa, and anytime we can help mothers and women in this country, great. I think the messengers are problematic because right now I don't have a ton of faith in Donald Trump and female policies and RFK Jr. Don't get me started. But I do think that the bigger problem here is to help with birth does not therefore increase birth rate. The reason people aren't having babies is they can't pay their bills. They don't have health care. They can't pay for gas or food. They don't have the type of infrastructure. So I do commend the effort, though, because this country is the wealthiest country in the world, and we have a higher maternal mortality rate than the country that comes in second, which is Chile, and it's 55% less than us. That is a problem when you have a wealthy nation and moms continue to die giving birth. I mean, this is a big problem, and I think it's not addressing that problem. The other thing that I have to say is I perused the website, and there were 2 areas that bothered me a little. I am all for stopping shaming women, not only shaming them that they were built to have babies and they should, but how they do it. And 2 things that bothered me were the crisis lines you call I think if you're going to have a site like this, there should be no judgment or messaging in it. It should be, here are all your options. You can make this decision for yourself. A lot of the crisis was only anti-abortion Christian funding, so it was not going to allow for someone that might have to make that tragic decision to not complete the pregnancy. There was no options for that. And the second thing, the emphasis on breastfeeding. I breastfed my babies. I love that I was able to. That is such a shame-ridden area where women are told, it said, and if you can't breastfeed, and this is how long you should, then maybe you can give them this. Again, a website should say, these are the ways you can feed your baby. And no more should be placed on the shoulders of women in this society, because too much has been done since the beginning of time. That would be my critique.
You know what gets me?
What gets you? I mean, we get you, but what gets you?
What gets me is this lie that they care about children. They seem to care about white children. But like when they say more Trump babies, what does that mean? Okay, I'm just asking the question. And I would like to just remind people that this administration dismantled USAID, which helped children around the world. They cut $13 billion in foreign aid, resulting in an estimated 500,000 children dying. And 4.5 million children under 5 could die by 2030 due to largely preventable diseases like pneumonia, diarrhea, HIV, malaria, and tuberculosis. So don't tell me you care about children. You only care about these children that you call Trump children.
But it is accessible to any American.
But let's look at the overall...
My child's not a Trump child. It's accessible to anyone who wants to sign up for it.
I'm looking at the overall picture of this administration. Stop BSing me, okay? That's all.
Go ahead.
I'll just quickly say, because I think everyone's making great points. I think two things can be true at the same time. I think that the intent can be questioned behind these new Trump policies. There was no acknowledgement of the Black maternal mortality crisis, because Black women die at a much higher rate than any other demographic.
Twice as
than any other demographic, and he doesn't seem to be. This administration is not concerned about that. I think it's true that he wants Trump babies, which implies he wants American-born white children.
He wants
that may be
toddler white nationalists.
That may be part of the intent. But as someone who also struggled with infertility, Manny and I went through our entire life savings to have our children. There was no insurance. We were fortunate enough to have a home that his parents gave us a down payment for, and we borrowed against our entire home and lost and our entire savings to have our two beautiful children. And so the fact that something like this is available, where you do have help with IVF, that you do have help with the drugs, the IVF drugs, I think is a win. There's so much to criticize Donald Trump for, especially his racism and his xenophobia and his misogyny, yes. But these particular things where you have an account, a Trump account, where your children can have $200,000 when they're 18 years old, and the help with infertility, which is also a crisis in this country, I think you call a thing, and I think these are good policies.
I think the infertility is great, and I believe it when I see people actually getting to do it. But I will not give him this until he takes care of the kids from birth
That's right.
to 18 or to 20.
I'm with you.
I'm sorry, that's